Hey everybody, how's it going? Marcos Villegas for Fight Hub TV, powered by Stagefront VIP, being joined with Fernando Vargas Jr., who's signed a big deal here in Pomona with Marvnation, a upstart promotion that put on that Regis Prograis versus Jose Cepeda fight. Just announced that you signed a multi-fight, multi-year deal. How do you feel? And let me know a little bit about why you chose to go this route.
Yeah, I feel good. This was a decision that we took on as a family. You know, we brought it to my pops. We did a one-fight deal with them. It was a Prograis card, Cepeda. They treated us great, phenomenal. And what really intrigued me was the number of fights that he's doing and he puts on. And he's putting on quite a good amount of fights, and that's what I need. I think for me, because of my age, I just want to get in the mix of 15, 16 and 0, and you know, along that. But I only have 7 fights, so with my age, me being 26, I want to get as many fights as I could. They treated us good. You know, we were talking. He put a proposal down, and it made sense. Shout out to my manager, and you know, now we're part of the Marvnation family.
I know you were sought out after by many promoters. You know, why did you decide to go this route, and what other promoters were trying to go ahead and get you to sign? Because I know your littlest brother signed with Top Rank.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, we were working with Tom Loeffler. He was just an advisor in the beginning, and you know, now Eggies is our manager as far as the dynasty, me, Amado, and Emmy. But this just made the most sense for us. I think with, you know, I fought on a PBC show. I fought, you know, on I forget the other card, but I fought on different networks. But this
Triller,
yeah. There you go. I was like, damn, what's the name of it? And I think this for me just made the most sense. You know, I think they were trying to lowball me, but I gotta show. I'm being real with you. I gotta show my skills. So I didn't have a decorated amateur background. That's, I think, what it is. But you know, they're putting a rap on me for being, you know, this knockout guy. I don't even go out there try labeling it like that. But I just go in there, listen to my pops, be smart, and you know, it presents itself. But yeah, Marvnation is gonna help me, you know, accomplish my goals. So.
I know you and your brothers, I don't know if it included your littlest brother, had signed with Triller. What happened with that? Is it because the Triller's not doing fights anymore and it got you out of the contract, or?
I got nothing bad to say about Triller. I think they're in their whole ordeal by themselves. Whatever, you know, things that went on with Triller with them not paying people, they paid us. Mm-hmm. But different people weren't getting paid out and different influencers. So before, you know, the ship sank, thank God we had an exit clause. We just kind of pulled out of it, and we just kind of went our own separate route. So hey, Emmy made the best decision for him. We're still a dynasty, we're still brothers, we're still together, we still train together, but at the end of the day, it was an opportunity that was in front of him, and he took it. So us as his brothers, we applaud him, and every time he fights, we're going to be there supporting him as well.
Yeah, that was smart of you guys to have an exit clause, because one, not many people would have the foresight to know to put that in a contract, and two, like we see now, like they're not, I don't know if they're defunct, but they're not putting on fights.
Like I said, I got nothing bad to say about Triller, but at the end of the day, it just wasn't a fit for us. So before it got funny, we just kind of came out. But look, Marvnation's a newer promotional company, and I feel with them having all of their energy to us, me and my brother Amado, I think they're really going to help us, one, get fights, and two, all of their focus will be on us. So what better company to start with than Marvnation? And they're putting on for fighters. They're getting a lot of these young fighters fights, and I mean, look at his son. He got a whole bunch of fights within like an 18-month span. So he has more fights than me, and he's only been a pro for like a little over than a year. So that's good.
It seems like the main, or I guess like the strongest point for you to sign was, one, the attention to you, and then the fights, right? Yeah. Did you feel you weren't going to get that with the other promoters?
I feel like you know, I don't, because I feel at the end of the day, it's like you have so many different fighters in your different stables. You know, if it's a Golden Boy, you got Virgil Ortiz, and you got these big stars that are going to outshine you. And I know a lot of fans are like, yo, what happened to Golden Boy, and what up with this, with that? Honestly, their proposals wasn't best for us. So I think with the Marvnation, it made more sense for us. And at the end of the day, you know, before we go in there and step into the ring, it is a business. So we got to make sure that we're okay. And Marvnation did that. So.
I just gotta ask if stuff goes down on this side in terms of them as a promoter, because I know there are a new promoter. Is there an exit clause like you had with Triller?
Yes, my management's on top of that. They got that situated.
Transitioning over to just in the world of boxing, just hot topics. Want to pick your brain. Over the weekend, Gervonta Davis knocked out Hector Garcia. Many felt it was a close fight. The judges didn't have it as a close fight. Did you think it was a close fight?
It was kind of tactical in the beginning. They were kind of playing chess back and forth. He was landing some good shots. Gervonta was landing some good shots. But as the fight started progressing, you started seeing Gervonta kind of pick up the pace and then just start landing the heavier shots. And then my dad didn't like it too much. Kind of quit on the stool, if you ask me. But my dad wasn't a big fan of that. But other than that, that's how that fight would have ended, I think, anyway, was just a knockout. And I had Gervonta winning, so it played out.
How'd you have your card, or by how many rounds did you have him winning?
I didn't really look at it like that. I just knew Gervonta was winning the fight, not by too much, but I think that shot just he wasn't able to recover after that.
Overall, how did you see how Gervonta fought and kind of adjusted to that style of Hector Garcia? Like me being there, I felt like the two things that really were troubling Hector were the speed and obviously the power, the thing that Gervonta is known for.
Yeah, no, Gervonta has a lot of power. My brother Amado sparred with him, but see, the thing about Gervonta, they just think he's all power. He sets traps. He boxes in the beginning. And people are thinking like, oh, it's Gervonta Davis. He's just going to knock you out. He'll set you up, let you get tired, let you get confident. And then he'll start landing his shots. So I think that's what happened. He just landed too many big shots, and he couldn't handle that.
You mentioned that your brother sparred Gervonta. Is that the one thing you picked up from the sparring was his ability to be able to set up traps? And what else makes him tricky?
Yeah, he let my brother get off. Honestly, Amado was just touching him, and I'm looking at my dad like, oh my gosh, he's landing his jab and landing shots on him, but he's just kind of parrying and catching punches, and then he just kind of sets up the big shots to let you get confident and step in, and you make the mistake. So he's real crafty in there. I mean, it's not just what you see him, knocking someone out and doing those backflips, but he's really smart in there, and he has a good IQ.
Yeah, I've heard that, and I think in general people are starting to talk more about how he's able to adjust and he has more than just the power. Right. It was kind of a funny night though. Did you obviously watched it on Showtime? The fight that happened during the round where they stopped it. Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird. I've never seen them stop a fight for a fight in the stands. Like I know we remember like the Fan Man accident back in the 90s. Your dad would probably remember that a lot more. Yeah. Your dad would probably remember that a lot more. But yeah, that's kind of odd, huh?
Right. It was just they stopped. One thing was like, okay, when Zab Judah,
I could have swore like I saw Gervonta tell the ref like, hey, they're fighting, stop the fight. I don't know. That's just me observing ringside. I'm not sure though.
Right. Only thing I could really think of is just like when Zab Judah and Floyd, when his uncle came in, but something happened in the ring. But for out of the ring for something to happen, like that was crazy.
It was.
Honestly, he should have took off on him. I would have. Shit.
Now the fight that everyone hope gets made is Ryan and Gervonta. Based on how Gervonta looked this weekend, how does that fight play out? And what do you feel makes it difficult for Ryan? And what do you think makes it difficult for Gervonta?
I've always told people, okay, Gervonta, of course, it's like a no-brainer. Gervonta is gonna knock out Ryan. That's what people think. That's what boxing analysts say. He's the more dog. He's fought the better champions, whatever the case may be. He's a world champion. But I just feel Ryan is dangerous from here to there. So the distance that you got to earn right here, I feel that left hook. I mean, it may be a one-trick pony, but that trick pony's fast. And I just think if Gervonta just tries to not be too careful and think he's just going to run through this pretty boy, I think he could clip him right on the temple, and he could it could be short, or he could take it and wobble, or he could press Ryan and you see Ryan has trouble fighting on the inside because he's tall. But I'm gonna go with Ryan, honestly. Oh, yeah? I'm gonna go for Raza. I'm gonna go for Ryan on that fight.
Is it because of that, or is there other factors too? Like a lot of people have mentioned, he's just a lot bigger than Gervonta.
That's true too. I mean, I don't think Gervonta has a problem with big fighters. You saw him move up with Barrios but I just think his style, he hasn't seen anyone like Ryan. Ryan's super fast. Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned how everyone feels that Gervonta's going to knock him out, and I think a big reason why people think that is because sometimes Ryan, his head's straight up,
Right.
and he seems very rigid when he moves back. Though, do you see that also?
I do see that also, but there's also mistakes that Gervonta does too that I see. Like he'll switch from orthodox to southpaw, and he'll sometimes cross his feet, and Ryan could catch him just being quick like that, or he'll get hot in the exchanges, and it works thus far. But you never know in the exchanges. That's when Ryan's dangerous too. So. Look, it could be anyone's fight, but I think the fighter that makes the least amount of mistakes, I think that's going to be the fighter that comes out victorious.
And it's also too how each adjusts to each other's power. Like we don't know how Ryan's going to be when Gervonta touches him, and vice versa.
Yeah, you don't know how Ryan's, because they always say, oh, well, if Gervonta hit, Ryan like Luke Campbell did, well, he wasn't fighting Gervonta that night. So there's always what ifs. I mean, what if Gervonta knocks out Ryan in 2 rounds? You just never know what's going to happen. So you just, as a boxing fan, you could just get your popcorn and just, get your friends and just enjoy the fight.
In your opinion, ideally at 135, does Gervonta beat Devin? Does he beat Shakur?
That's tough. Devin's real hard to beat right now. I think his jab, I mean, you saw with Kambosos. Shout out to Kambosos, ferocious, you know what I'm saying? But he fought a great fight. He put his best effort, but you just saw he was able to beat him with just a jab. So I think Devin's really hard to beat right now. And then who else did you say? Shakur. That's like that modern day Floyd. Honestly, he could be inches like right here, and you still can't hit him. So I think if they mix it up, it's gonna be a toss up. Honestly, I don't know who wins out of those 3, but we'd love to see it.